You guys know how Steven Universe has that show within the show called Crying Breakfast Friends? Yeah, of all the possible meta shows, they have one about a bunch of anthropomorphic breakfast foods who cry a lot. It may not sound like much, but I bring it up for a reason. See, I think Crying Breakfast Friends is actually a subtle metaphor. Now, I know it sounds crazy, but hear me out. I think it's a metaphor for how the show staff wants all of the viewers to cry. Seriously, Steven Universe is a show which is filled to the brim with feels. I mean, with episodes like Monster Buddies, Rose's Scabbard, and Chillytid, just to name a few off the top of my head, there's a large number of episodes from this show which are really, really emotional. But then again, what else can we expect from a show created by Rebecca Sugar? A person who has said, and I quote, "I think crying is really fun." Wow, Rebecca, you're a sadist. That was actually a joke. Rebecca Sugar is actually really awesome. But hey, why are we just talking about the feels when we can analyze them? Let's take a look at Steven the Sword Fighter. The episode starts with the Crystal Gems watching a Japanese movie about a sword fighter. Everyone seems to be enjoying it except for Pearl.
Come on, it was so obvious. He's been mopping in the background of every fight scene. Look, here he is on the cover of the box.
Well, crap, do I really sound like this when I do reviews? Eventually, Pearl comments on how the characters in the movie all have terrible sword techniques. She offers to demonstrate proper form, and Steven accepts the offer immediately. The demonstration takes place in a cloud arena, and Pearl creates a holographic version of herself to spar with. Now, there are two things which are especially notable here. First, the sequence is clearly homage to Revolutionary Girl Utena, an anime from the 90s which is notable for excellent fight choreography. It's not a shot-for-shot copy, though. Some of Utena's most recognizable angles are used, but it still has its own identity. The other thing notable here is the music.
Opening detected!
The music in Steven Universe is generally fantastic, but this track in particular is one of my favorites. It's so good that I'm linking to the track in the description. In fact, I'm also linking to the website of the composers, because those two are awesome. Anyways, Steven is about as thrilled with the display as I am, so he asks Pearl to show him how to sword fight. Pearl starts off with some basic moves, but much to her annoyance, Steven wants to skip to something more interesting. This, of course, is rather distracting.
Steven, these are real sword techniques, not those silly things from your movies. It's about waiting carefully for the perfect moment to thrust.
'Tis but a scratch. A scratch?
What? Too soon?
Whoopsie daisy! Steven, it's okay. I'm gonna be just...
No!
Yup, that was too soon. Definitely too soon. I'm a terrible person. Also, did Pearl just die? Did she just die from her own hologram? No, don't worry, she didn't die. As it turns out, the show manages to world build its way out of a major character's possible death. Garnet explains that if a gem's body is badly injured, they can retreat into their gemstones to regenerate. Is this an underhanded way to save a character? No, at this point in the series, it's already clear that the gems aren't humans, and personally, I'd rather Pearl not be dead. However, it takes time for gems to regenerate, and for Pearl, it's taking over 2 weeks. Even Amethyst admits this is an unusually long time, although I'm not sure I trust people who sit on clouds. Clouds are pretty suspicious if you ask me. Actually, in all fairness, this is the only episode where Amethyst does anything with clouds. It's weird. Anyway, until Pearl comes back, Steven decides to use the Hollow Pearl as a substitute. First, he tries to teach it to clean up a mess, but since it's only programmed to sword fight, this goes poorly. Then he tries to introduce the Hollow Pearl to the other gems.
Gonna do it!
Go on then.
Okay, seriously, what is up with Amethyst and clouds in this episode? This isn't even a criticism, I'm actually curious. Well, Garnet tells Steven to be patient in waiting for Pearl to return and to stop hanging out with the hologram. Unfazed, he takes it to Pearl's favorite tree in a last-ditch effort to make it cooperate. This results in the tree getting cut down. Enraged, Steven gives up and heads home. At home, Pearl still hasn't regenerated. However, the camera is starting to tilt over, so either the director of Battlefield Earth got a hold of this episode, or something intense is about to happen. The Hollow Pearl is still trying to get Steven to fight it, which gets him increasingly upset. Eventually, he goes upstairs to watch another Japanese sword movie with Pearl's gemstone, but the sword fights in the movie cause Steven to get flashbacks of Pearl being injured. This isn't done to slap on a moral or anything like that, it's purely for emotional impact, and it works really well. Well, it works until the Hollow Pearl smashes the TV.
Why must you destroy the things I love?
That line is funny until you realize he's also referring to Pearl. Steven yells at the Hollow Pearl, which sends it into basic attack mode, then it glitches and starts to go Rambo. We get a pretty intense climax, complete with lots of tilted shots, but eventually Steven manages to defeat the Hollow Pearl and destroy it. Garnet and Amethyst return to the house after hearing all the noise, and then Pearl finally regenerates. Was Pearl taking so long to regenerate because her gem was powering the Hollow Pearl? I'm going to assume so. Anyway, Pearl now has a new outfit, and the episode ends with a funny reunion. I'm not sure what else to say. This episode has so many good aspects. The production is great, the characters are fun, and the story is emotionally compelling. I could go on about the variety of emotions, the pacing, and just every little detail they got right. It's episodes like this which make me steadfast in my love for a show, by showing the full scale of what the series is capable of. I mean, it's really, really good, and it's not even the best episode of Season 1. I give Steven the Sword Fighter 4 out of 4 stars.
"'Tis but a scratch."